Good morning. By the way, once you guys can actually see my hair, it may or may not look weird. I'm not sure about that. In any case, um, thinking about the idea of vice and virtue, kind of good and evil, what sets them apart. Because there's this weird idea that evil, on some level, has to be appealing, otherwise, people wouldn't do it. And given the myriad of reasons why a person may or may not like a thing, birthplace, rearing, whatever, like what is it that actually sets apart good and evil? I think it has to do with like kind of two major factors. Um, there's the notion of compatibility and there's the notion of sustainability, right? I think that's kind of what sets it apart. A good that can coexist with the goods is good. A good that cannot coexist with other goods, that devours all, is evil, right? Um, Vice, kind of pathologically, is pernicious. It is parasitic. It cannot coexist. So you could take something like a drug addiction, right? Pleasurable, yet not sustainable. Consequently, evil, right? Sleeping around. Appealing on a certain level, but also not sustainable, right? I.e., evil. At some point, it will destroy everything else in your life. And this dynamic that exists on a personal level also exists on a societal level. No man is an island unto themselves, but I guess be that as it may. Like this, there's this notion that yes, you could do a thing. A thing can be appealing for a lot of reasons. There's some dude somewhere, I believe, who enjoys sneezes. I think he finds them attractive, which is the weirdest thing. I'm sure he'll get married and have a lovely degenerate family or something. I don't know. But in any case, I think the notion of good is quite open ended by necessity because people do find things attractive for a lot of reasons. And within the parameters of what is, again, sustainable and compatible with other things, with other goods that exist, yeah, it's very open ended. What a person can enjoy or what is good on a very subjective level, on a very relativistic level, is, yeah, it's fine if it's innocuous, if it can coexist, if it can live in symbiosis with other goods, all right, if it does not take over. And who knows, maybe that's kind of how things, start to become more mainstream if they are like, and maybe that you could argue for like a case for innovation almost because of that. Oh, what? You want to put your lips on someone else's lips? You sick degenerate. uh, all right. Moving on, we have a video from Dr. K that we're going to watch. Is nihilism a cop out? There we go. And I want to make this a little bit bigger. Come on. There we go. I could just make my thingy a little bit smaller, but my narcissism wouldn't allow it. I must be. Alright. I'm redoing this part. I feel like I might have to end up doing this where I watch two videos first because I feel like, especially with some, I just need it to have any sort of coherent position on it. So, just to clarify first, before we get into this video about nihilism, I think my own position on nihilism is not really keen on it as a worldview. It feels like nihilism is the people who practice it are kind of arrogant almost. They're the people who feel like they found like the point zero position, like the default zero position, the position which makes no assumptions and makes no assertions, which is unbiased,
to the greatest degree possible. And I don't know to what extent I believe that. Also, it seems like nihilism is a worldview that kind of stems from perhaps an endless indulgence of one's doubt, as if doubt or skepticism is an infallible indicator of truth, that you could never doubt something that's true, or doubt something, or disbelieve a thing, even if there's good reasons to believe that thing. So in my mind, like, again, not terribly keen on the whole notion of nihilism. It feels like there's a lot of contradictions involved also. So anyways, let's get into this.
Today, we're going to talk about how nihilism could be a terrible form of copium. Now, a lot of y'all may reject this immediately, being like,
I should look up copium sometimes. It's just to do with copium, right? For the record, you know, a weird thing actually. I never actually thought of what the word MAGA meant until recently. It just never occurred to me to even like think about it. But yeah, make America great again. Okay, I get it. I'm just like it never occurred to me to like wonder what it was.
no, like nihilism is a fully defensible philosophical position, which I think is fine. Like,
It, it feels like the whole notion of nihilism, like it might entail almost like I guess gazing into the abyss. And as the saying goes, when you gaze into the abyss looks back at you. There's this weird concept like that when it comes to things that exist, objective realities, we can prioritize them, right? One thing is different from another thing. One thing affects us to a different degree than another thing. So our brain prioritizes them and it makes sense of it. But when you're trying to think about like nothing, it's homogeneous. It is monochromatic. Nothing that is in front of you is the same. Nothing that is 5 million miles away from it. So your brain can't figure it out. It can't make sense of it. It can't prioritize anything. So it feels like it might have the effect of almost just overloading your brain to the nth degree. For the record, I think that there would actually be maybe a basis for nihilism on some level, which would involve, I had mentioned this in a few videos back, like an emotional overload of some sort. In theory, you can dial up certain aspects of the human experience to the umpteenth degree. And once you do that, this one part of the human experience feels hyper realistic, and everything else, by contrast, feels insipid and meaningless and vapid. That might be redundant, but everything else feels like nothing. If you're in a headspace where nothing good exists, and everything that does exist is bad, then it would maybe make sense that you would want to devalue everything, right? It would be very, maybe even logical and perhaps helpful in that scenario to default to nihilism. All right.
philosophical position, which I think is fine. Like, this is not a channel about philosophy. This is
Uh, mm,
a channel about human beings. And the problem is that when you take this existential philosophy that life has no meaning and you stick it inside a human being, it causes all kinds of problems.
mhm. And that's maybe one of the issues I have. Like when people are presenting nihilism, inevitably they I guess I don't know if inevitably, but it feels like they tend to act like they're doing nothing. I guess it might be kind of inherent. Like they're not suggesting an alternative. They're just. But the fact is, every action we take, and it's impossible not to take action. I think even inaction has risks. So it feels like on some level, just engage with it. Just get into it already.
And this is something that I really kind of struggled with as a psychiatrist because I noticed that people would come into my office and some of them would really like
Give me a second, I'm gonna have to mess with the graphics here.
lack meaning or purpose in life and others didn't. And I always asked myself, okay, from an objective standpoint,
And again, I don't think it is an actual lack of. Well, maybe that would be the better way to actually describe my feelings on it. I don't know if nihilism is actually a lack of meaning so much as it is a focus on something, well, like an emotional overload that makes you focus on something that's bad, and hence you want to devalue everything you're experiencing because you're not experiencing anything good.
Standpoint. If we say that life has no inherent meaning because we're not worried about God or religion or anything like that, how is it that some people are able to find meaning and other people aren't? So literally, I want y'all to think about this, right? So there are two human beings who are moving through the exact same world, have relatively similar experiences, and yet one person is able to find meaning and someone else is not able to find meaning. They look at the world.
This comes back to maybe a distinction I had made in a video past, where like people come with the terms like subjective and relative. I think I tend to like the term relative a little better because it feels like the connotation of subjective is it doesn't really exist without the person involved. It is entirely dependent on them, and it wouldn't exist without them. Whereas relative, like you can see something from a relative perspective, and it is an objective reality, right? Someone else coming from your own perspective would see the same reality that you are seeing. It's not dependent upon you seeing it to exist. It is an objective reality, but it's just relative to a certain perspective. It's not a universal perspective.
World that they live in, and they say there's no point to any of this. And it turns out that the reason for that is because the way that their brains interpret their experiences, the dopaminergic responses they have, the way that they think in response to a given
Observations.
situation.
Getting too self-referential here. Sorry, but it does. It comes back to that notion I mentioned previously. Oh, for the love! I'm gonna be starting my cult next week. Yeah, this Saturday here. First 100 members get unlimited wives. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. But no, this idea of observation and substantiation, they're not exactly the same thing.
Is actually different. But that's not the problem. The reason that I'm really concerned about nihilism is because it's bad. So let's take a look at the data.
And it's true. Like again, there are people like Cosmic Skeptic who tend to believe that okay, so if you don't believe free will exists, like what happens exactly? Do you not feel the same way about stuff? Do you not have the same drives that you did before? Like what's like? I still think there are philosophical like prerequisites to leaning into life, to being zealous, to being like forward thinking, to giving a crap about all this stuff that's happening around you. And I think free will is one of them. The belief that life has meaning is another. Um, I feel like you have to believe that this actually matters, that there is something there.
Relationship between purpose in life and depression and anxiety, a meta-analysis. The mean weighted difference between purpose in life and depression was negative 0.49. The purpose in life and anxiety mean weighted effect size was negative 0.36. So this basically means
I don't
the more purpose you have, the less depression and anxiety you have.
It's kind of a
And both approach deficits and avoidance motivation are argued to play a role in the relationship between purpose and psychopathology, with greater purpose potentially
question. What does psychopathology mean? Is there psychopaths? I want to look this one up. All right, psychopathology. Psychopath. Hmm. Oh, it's a study of mental disorders and immoral behaviors. Okay.
limiting avoidance tendencies and reducing the effects of depression and anxiety. Now, this is the core of the problem.
Call it a pursuit. Something
Yeah.
we want. Some part of us that once was
Huh.
ours. With vitiligo, it's a
Serendipitous.
pursuit for pigment.
Except for that
Okay.
part.
Is that if we lack purpose in life, we are less likely to engage in difficult things. And as we are less
Oh,
likely
it's
to
like
engage in
it does feel like it's a standard risk reward analysis. If life has no meaning, if it's basically just a video game that's really, really immersive, well then why lean into it? Why sacrifice? Why is there a greater good involved in this? If all of it's just insipid and meaningless, and it's only subject to meaning because we think it's meaningful, like, okay, so again, it's just a video game. Why should I care about any of this? Like, it's like, why risk anything if the reward is not there? If there's nothing substantive about reality.
difficult things, i.e., greater avoidance behaviors, this will sort of narrow the scope of our life. And this is where Ernest Becker described this incredibly well in their book, The Denial of Death. The more you shrink back from the difficulties and
Hmm.
darings of life, the more you naturally come to feel inept. The lower is your self-evaluation. It is ineluctable. I don't know what that word means. If
I had looked it up in the previous one, and I completely forgot what it meant. Maybe I'll pick it up.
one's life has been a series of silent retreats, one ends up firmly wedged into a corner and has
It sounds like unavoidable, something like that.
nowhere else to retreat. This state is the bogging down of depression. Fear of life leads to excessive fear of death. Finally, one doesn't dare to move. The patient lies in bed for days on end, not eating, letting the housework pile up, fouling the bed. So y'all may
Hmm.
say, okay, but if we look at Nietzsche's
I'm just wondering what this thing is.
philosophy, he says that there's no inherent purpose in life, so life has to be
Okay, like the notion that, I guess maybe I hadn't talked about this before in this reaction at least, but I hate this notion that, like, the just purpose is subjective. It's something ephemeral and insipid, and it exists because we perceive it to exist. It's a self-made thing. Because, like, if I conclude that life has purpose, well, then I'm absolutely right. But if I also conclude that my life has no purpose and it's all meaningless and I should just kill myself, then am I also right in that conclusion? I would tend to think not. I tend to think there is objective purpose in life. There is objective meaning that this stuff exists whether or not I'm here to see it, or whether I'm not. I'm observing it. It's like if the existential tree falls in the forest, yes, it still makes a sound. Like, this stuff exists whether or not you observe it, whether or not you help. It is real. It is objective. At least I like to think of it as being so. I do believe it is so. I do believe it is.
be discovered. Fair enough, right? So I'm a big fan of discovering purpose in life. But the
Oh, but to clarify though, there's a kind of bespoke nature to purpose as well. There's what we consider like universal purpose, like seeking the good of mankind, but the manner, like the very specific manner in which you do that, yes, absolutely. There is a more discovering, seeking your own higher calling in life. I think that is a good thing.
question still remains, how do we find that purpose in life, right? What is the process that gets us to purpose? And this is where things become really, really scary, because unless we understand what nihilism truly is from a psychological perspective, from a neuroscience perspective, it will be very difficult to find purpose. So when I work with human beings, what I
And part of me, like, I don't know if this is a solution which can be sought out in a type of matter in motion type of way. Um, it is a metaphysical. I don't know.
find is a description that's very similar to this, okay? So you're living your life and you don't really see a point to it, right? There's like, I don't want to be one of these plebs that's just like eat, drink, and marry, like be captain of the football team. I can't be captain of the football team, go to college, get some dead end job, and then what? Like, what's the point of all of this? What's the point of all of the grind? And as
See, like this, I don't necessarily like this point that he makes here. There's a thing I'm thinking it's in either The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I think it was an edition. I don't know if it was in the books. Maybe the theme of it was in the books. But there's this idea that, like, the difference between Gandalf and Saruman is this type of this notion of good. In Gandalf's mind, the idea of good is to do the next right thing, like just small little acts. And then Saruman's idea of good is just this more etheric, out there final solution. It's a terrible maybe image to present, but that tends to be the thing of people who are seeking progress, the great minds who are shaping the future. There's this kind of like this again, this etheric idea of progress and good and right, and it can, I think, sometimes run counterintuitive to what is actually good and right. To some extent, you could think of it like this. I think we are making progress, like we are moving forward. At least I would like to believe so. But on the same level, we are kind of participating in a cyclical type of equilibrium maintenance, right? If you're standing straight into place, your brain is making 1,000 calculations constantly to keep you upright and keep you over center, right? And I don't think that's something that should be despised when taken like to a greater extreme with one's life. Just like I think, put it this way, I think the pursuit of equilibrium in one's life, just living on a farm, taking care of your family, your children, your animals, and then dying. I don't think that's uh, like a stupid thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. There are some people that perhaps are intended, like the great minds of our day, that are intended to move us forward. But on the same level, I think there's nothing to be despised in people who don't choose to take that path.
As we sort of ask ourselves, what's the point of this stupid grind, which, by the way, is produced by your brain, which we'll get to in a second, right? Because there's a lot of human beings out there, a lot of normies that are like all into the grind, and they're
Pompous, condescending, hate.
so like they're like, oh, like I want to get a nice handbag and I want to get this Instagram post and I
Like I said, people can be kind of vapid and shallow as well. But like I think despising like the salt of the earth type of people is not a good thing in my mind right now. Despising the simple folk, or again, now I'm sounding like condescending or something. I don't think there's anything wrong with people who don't want to do something fantastical or great in life. They just want to live their life, and anyways.
want to get this kind of fancy carrot ring and then I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this, and they're like these like people who are kind of these empty-headed fucking normie plebs who are living life. And then there's some of us who are like thinkers, right? Who look at this and we say,
Again, pompous.
this life is empty. But then the problem is that as we go through life, okay, we are faced with these little challenges, like these little things, like should I get up at 5 a.m. to meditate every day, or should I get up at 6 for work, right? We face all these little challenges. Should I go on this dating app? Should I go to the singles meetup? Should I go to this networking event? Should I polish up my resume? There's all these little things in life. And when you're facing life with sort of like, what's the point? You have a series of silent retreats. You're like, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. And then that creates a huge problem, because the more that you retreat from life, the more that the
Hmm.
normies move forward and the more further behind you fall. And then it becomes really hard to engage with life because you don't see a point to it. When
Hmm.
people hear about our coaching program, their first response is usually, why would I
Uh,
work with another human being when I can watch YouTube videos all
hmm.
on my own? Working with a coach is about amplifying your time and effort. We're great at wanting things and even making
Oh, that's
some
weird.
progress, but we usually struggle with follow through or have some kind of setback. And that's exactly where working with a coach can help. Coaches provide personalized support to help you set appropriate goals, make progress, and even work through setbacks.
Hmm.
Just let us know what your goals are, what kind of support you're looking for, and we'll match you with the best coach for your unique needs. Check out the link in the description below to see if coaching is right for you. And the other
Hmm.
problem with this is the more nihilistic we become, the less like point we have to do things.
Getting all your daily
For the
nutrients
love.
is hard work, but
Oh,
nutritional
okay.
gaps in your diet are inevitable.
What ends up motivating us, right? So if we're
Or
not
watch.
motivated by some grander sense of purpose, we end up being more vulnerable to things like escape behaviors. So let's take a look at Viktor Frankl's.
Like, was it? What's the word? No, risk avoidant. No, there's a word I'm looking for. What is it? Risk averse. We live in a very risk averse culture these days, and it's kind of a downer a little bit. The grand old days of whatchamathingies yesteryear are kind of gone.
Man's search for meaning.
But for the record, I think they can come back again. And I think that that hopefully is changing.
which is a wonderful text on nihilism, sort of the intersection between nihilism and psychiatry. Moreover, there are various masks and guises under which the existential vacuum appears. Sometimes the frustrated will to meaning, that's like finding a purpose in life, is vicariously compensated for by a will to power, including the
So that's why.
most primitive form of will to power, the will to money. In other cases, the place of frustrated will to meaning is taken by the will to pleasure. That is why existential frustration often eventuates in sexual compensation. We can observe in such cases that the sexual libido becomes rampant in the existential vacuum. Okay? So I
Interesting. So, like, it would almost tend to be borne out in the fact that a lot of people who are like very much in this category of existential inquirers, or great minds of our day, can be kind of almost psychopathic, or have a god complex, maybe. It's an interesting notion.
know that's like kind of complicated, so let's understand this. So if we lack purpose in life, it's going to get replaced by something. And this is
Mm,
where, I kind of talk about all of the normies, right, that leave you behind. But I would say more than 50% of nihilists that I've worked with are actually incredibly successful people.
yeah, but again, it's like it's one of those things. Like, if you think of life as just some sort of insipid, meaningless, like a really immersive video game, there's nothing, there's no there, right? Like, okay, so what's the point of it all? Yes, you have all this money. Yes, you have all of this stuff, but like it lacks substance. What do you care about any of it, anyways?
So since they have no purpose in life, since they have nothing driving them forward, and medical students are the best example of this, right? So since there's no, like, I don't actually have a reason to do anything, I fill it up with other stuff. Yeah, why am I going to become a doctor? Because then fucking women like doctors, right? And then I'm going to have money, and then I can go on vacation, and then I'm going to be somebody.
All right, so that was actually, yeah, a good video by Dr. K. To sum up again, my own position, I don't think nihilism is like the default zero position, um, that people maybe think it is. I don't think it is the natural occurrence. Again, like I was saying in the video, I think it can be the result of. It's not that you don't care about anything. It's that I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it is necessarily what the people who espouse it think it is. It isn't this type of unbiased, just like looking at life, saying, "Okay, well, why should I believe in anything?" They believe in their sense of skepticism to a greater degree than they believe in anything else, and because they hang on to that one thread, because perhaps on an emotional level they have no reason not to endlessly indulge their skepticism, they refuse to believe in the validity of any other worldview. They refuse to believe in the substance of what they're seeing and what they're observing. But it's not because they don't believe in anything. It's because they believe in this one thing a lot. Right? It's what you'd maybe consider to be like I don't know, a parasitic or a black hole belief, a belief that destroys all other beliefs or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you like the video, oh, never mind, I'm not finished. This is going to be inserted in another video. Bye. Moving on for something different and novel. We're going to look at the Mayan civilization and the Aztecs, and then a nice piece of information to finish off with. The Maya civilization was a Mesoamerican historical region and cultural area that begins at the southern parts of North America and extends to the Pacific coast of Central America. Yeah, Pacific coast, so down here. Thus comprising lands of central and southern Mexico, so
By its, it is known by its ancient temples and glyphs. Huh. You know, I can honestly say I don't know if I've thought about the word glyphs in quite a while. The Maya script is more sophisticated and highly developed writing system in the pre-Columbian Americas. The civilization that is noted for its art and architecture, mathematics, calendars, and astronomical systems. Maya civilization developed in the Mayan region in an area that today comprises southeastern Mexico, all of Guatemala, and Belize, and all of the western portions of Honduras, El Salvador, and includes the northern lowlands of the Yucatan Peninsula, Yucatan. I don't know. I know Y's are pronounced as J's, I think, sometimes in Spanish, right? J's. Sorry, that was from what is his name? There's a YouTuber, used to be a Viner, David, I think David Lope. Nah, I don't know what it is. Jesus. Hey, no, Jesus. Yeah, he's an interesting fellow. Anyways, Guatemalan Highlands and Sierra Madre. Sweet Lord, I Spanish. All right, the Mexican state of Chiapas, southern Guatemala, El Salvador, and the southern lowlands of the Pacific littoral plain. Today, their descendants, known collectively as the Maya, number well over 6 million individuals, speak more than 28 surviving Mayan languages, and reside in nearly the same area as their ancestors. So, is this it, or is it the greater area? I'm thinking this is Mesoamerica. This might be their thing here. hmm Southeastern, southeastern Mexico and Guatemala. All right. In the Archaic period before 2000 BC, saw the first development of it in agriculture and the earliest villages. Pre-classic period 2000 BC to 2000 or 250 AD. For the establishment of the first now complex societies in the Maya region, and the cultivation of staple crops of the Maya diet, including maize, beans, squashes, and chili peppers. The first Maya cities developed around 700 BC, and by 500 BC, these cities possessed monumental architecture, including large temples. Isn't there that weird game? It was either the Mayans or the Aztecs that would play, where it's like involved hoops and ball and strange. And I think there are people who maybe still try to play that. Obviously, they might not be as coordinated as people were back then, so they might have to fudge the fudge the numbers a little bit. Um, hmm. Go down a little. Chicken etymology. Hmm. Entire Yucatan Peninsula, all of its territory now in the modern country of Guatemala and Belize, as well as the western portions of Honduras and El Salvador. Most of the peninsula was formed by a vast plain with few hills and mountains. Pre-classic, classic, post-classic. So these would have been the ones with Hernando Cortez, right? Or is that the Aztecs? Mm-hmm. Defined by period during the last, the Mayas raised dated monuments, construction. Yax Noon. Another powerful city in Petén Basin. Huh. Calakmul. It's one of the most important cities of the classical period.
Classic Maya collapsed during the 9th century AD. The central Mayan region suffered major political collapse marked by an abandonment of cities, ending the dynasties and the northward shift in activity. No universally accepted theory explains this collapse. No universally accepted theory explains this collapse, but likely it had a combination of causes, including endemic internecine warfare, overpopulation resulting in severe environmental degradation, and drought. During this period, known as the Terminal Classic, northern city of Chichen Itza and Zumal, no, Umal, I don't know. It showed increased activity. Major cities in the northern Yucatan Peninsula were inhabited long after the city's southern lowlands ceased to raise monuments. Based on ritual authority of ruler rather than central control of trade and food distribution. That's like countries that have like a centralized authority tend to become dysfunctional very quickly because it seems almost impossible to administrate efficaciously when there's only like one person in charge of it. Poorly structured to respond to changes because the ruler's actions were limited by traditions such activities as construction, ritual, and warfare. Post-classic period. Let's see if I'm right about the Cortez thing. It might have been Aztecs actually. All right. Contact Caravel was wrecked in the Caribbean, and about a dozen survivors made landfall. From 1517 to 1519, three separate Spanish expeditions explored the Yucatan coast and engaged in a number of battles with the Mayan inhabitants. After the Aztec capital, Tenochtitlan. Haha! Thank you, Age of Empires. I know that one. Hopefully I'm right. There was some crazy stuff in here, like floating gardens and whatnot. Both of the Spanish in, I think that was these guys. Is that the no, after the Aztec? Yeah, this is okay. This is the Aztecs. Maybe it might have been the Aztecs. No, the Aztecs fell to Hernan Cortez, right? After the Aztec capital fell to the Spanish in 1521, Hernan Cortez dispatched Pedro de Alvarado to Guatemala with 180 cavalry, 300 infantry, and 4 cannons, and thousands of allied warriors from central Mexico. They arrived in 1523. The Quiche capital Cumarca fell to Alvarado in 1520. So he sent someone to do it. It wasn't actually Cortez. Invited as allies. The capital city of the blah, blah, blah. Good relations did not last due to the excessive Spanish demands for gold as tribute. The city was abandoned a few months later. This was followed by the fall of in 1525. Francisco de Montejo and his son, the younger, launched a long series of campaigns against the polities, the peninsula, and finally completed the conquest of the northern portion of the peninsula in 1546. This left only one mine kingdom in the Pete Basin independent. In 1697, Marque de Ursua launched an assault on its capital, blah, 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 and the last independent Maya city fell to the Spanish. Huzzah! Alright, I could read through the Aztecs, but I mean, I guess it'd be kind of similar, but I guess that they're more northerly. Alright, so one last whatchamathingy news story. I'm gonna read out someone kind of a feel good one, I think. Piece by piece. Patience and determination help a team finish the 13,000 meters. Like you wouldn't have thought teens had the attention span for this.
Hmm. Teens have all kinds of hobbies, from video games, TV, theater, and sport. Brian Howard prefers jigsaw puzzles. Not small 500-piece puzzles, using the puzzles with thousands and thousands of pieces. Recently achieved a milestone when he completed a 13,200 piece jigsaw puzzle. The puzzle's box features a lovely pastoral image with wooden church and other buildings in the midst of green fields, flowers, all colors in the foreground and in the background. The mountain range with sections of full sunshine and parts in shadows. The first inkling of the task ahead of him arose with when the rising senior at Greenwood Christian School dipped both hands into the box and pulled a double lamp. The level of pieces in the box barely changed. 13,000. I wonder how long that would take. Nobody in his family is much a fan of jigsaw puzzles as he is, Howard said. His dad's grandmother and his mother's dad fostered his love of puzzles. Howard started building them when he was 5 or 6 years old. Okay, that sounds weird when you say it like that, like he's making the puzzle or he's putting them together. Recalls doing a 1,000 piece puzzle and then 2,000, 4,000, 6,000 piece puzzles. He saw the 200,000 piece puzzle on sale at Amazon and decided to buy it. Like, this is a big one. It came in 6 sections. It took me about a year and a half to do it. For that, I do not think I would have the patience. Howard bought the puzzle for $70, discounted from 100. He admitted he spent money he didn't really have. I do not regret it one bit. I'm very happy to say that I built the 13,000 piece puzzle. The process, Howard, has several 3 to 4 foot long boards that contain up to 2,000 puzzle pieces. Once a section is done, it is stacked in a puzzle box with the other completed sections. Howard said that he then lays out the sections on the garage floor. It took Howard about 1 hour to assemble and complete the sections into the final puzzle. Howard said he would work on the puzzle after school, finish it, destroy what he had done, and put the pieces back in the box. There had times when he thought he would finish it, destroy what he had done, and put the pieces. I feel like the person who wrote this article might have some growth to do. Working on the section featuring the church was easy because of the patterns that comprised the building. The mountains, they were a bit tougher. And roadblock, mountain range, and the shadows, so it's all black and green. That can be an issue. Floor measured 3 feet by 2.5 feet. Doesn't seem like it's super huge. Howard diligently worked on it and realized he was stuck. Didn't touch the puzzle from December to April. So that's a pretty big chunk of it, actually. So it might have only taken him like a year and a couple of months or something. Summer arrived, and so did inspiration. I don't know, something changed. Puzzle. I came back to the puzzle. It had been a very busy summer, and I had come back from a bunch of camps. And I realized he had grown a lot. The symbol of growth would be finishing the puzzle. I would power through, and in the end, the puzzle took about 10 feet of the garage floor. Okay, yeah. That's one way to do it, put it in the garage. As long as you don't use it too much. Blah, blah, blah. It's something I'm very proud of. All right, nice. Nice story to end it on. All right, now a little bit of Portal. And then we can finish this puzzle game.
I'm a little bit loath to actually start doing music in the background, but I've seen other people do it, so like from games and whatnot, so I assume it's okay. I'm not gonna get hit for it or anything. I really like this Sly Cooper soundtrack, but
Red Bull gives you wings.
just let me know if it's getting too loud or something. This is jazz. Normally I don't really like jazz, but this feels like it's kind of in that genre still. Huh. That little bastard of a mouse has been chewing on my controller. Jackass. Yeah, at least it gives it a little bit of a grip. Just make sure I don't have the music on this thing on.
It's alright. Everything's good. I just invented some more tests.
This is one of my tests.
Not entirely. Not entirely. Look at the word test there on the wall. That's brand new.
Uh-huh. Just another man taking for a woman's work. This I do not remember. Beam me up. Stop that. So I think I have to set that there. Get back up and then put it. Alright. Now. What the Harry? Did you move? You're not supposed to move, jackass. Alright, let's try this again. Don't.
Oh wow. Well done. Seriously, both of you. Why don't you two go on ahead? Yeah, I'll catch up with you.
Okay, so the bad news is the tests are my tests now, so they can kill us. The good news is, well, none so far, to be honest. I'll get back to you on that.
The good news is that it's important to be honest.
I'd love to help you solve the tests, but I can't. Sorry. You're on your own.
What?
Yeah, made this test myself. out of smaller tests that I found lying around. Jammed them all together. Buttons, got funnels, bottomless pits are involved. It's got it all. It's got it all. Absolute dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, make your day. The Neo QLED 8K. With glare-free
No,
technology.
that's the problem with this
even
stuff.
Smarter with smart things.
Now, let's see if there's a way to... Okay, so that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Wait, which one's... I need the blue one there.
Alright, okay, this is taking too long, okay? I'll just tell you how to solve the test, okay? See that button over there, alright? You just use...
And that's why I can't help you solve the tests.
Never mind. Never mind, solve it yourself. You're on your own.
Mm-hmm. I just hurt his brain or something, trying to help me solve it. I guess. Button. Yoink. Oh, where's the button? Oh, no, here we go. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well done.
Thanks. All we had to do was pull that lever.
What? Well, no, you pressed the button. Ah!
I know we're in a lot of trouble and probably about to die, but that was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of some good news. He's going to run out of test chambers eventually. I never stockpiled them.
I'm coming, don't start yet. You are not going to believe this. I found a sealed off wing, hundreds of perfectly good test chambers, just sitting there, filled with skeletons, shook them out, good as new.
Skeletons. Right, I guess I did stockpile some tests.
Mm-hmm. For the love.
Just as mementos, though.
And there we go. To be honest, you can't even tell, can you? Seamless.
Uh-huh. Idiot. Alright, I guess... Oh, for the love. Well, that was fun.
I thought of some good news. He's going to run out of test chambers eventually. I never stockpiled them.
I'm coming, don't start yet. You are not going to believe this. I found a sealed off wing, hundreds of perfectly good test chambers, just sitting there, filled with skeletons, shook them out, good as new.
Skeletons. Right, I guess I did stockpile some tests.
Oh, for the love.
Just as
Imbecile.
mementos, though.
And there we go. Be honest, you can't even tell, can you? Seamless.
There we go. That's better. Much better. No, I should have been able to make that jump. Alright, now, What's that? Right, here's a question. How am I supposed to get back? Okay, so I could put one there. Alright, Alright, there we go. Yes. Oh, hold on. There we go. She's gonna put me right there, though. Talking. Will you stop that? Ha! Now try doing it, jackass. Alright, so... Button. Where's the button? I have to do this guy. Where is it? Middle? The gauge how far? Yes. Here-ish. Is that right? Nope, nope, not right. Alright, huh. Alright, so this, I have to go... There we go. Now, get up here. Boink. There we go.
Oh, here we go. Here it comes. Ah. Oh, disappointed.
Oh no, it's happening sooner than I expected. I'm sure we'll be fine.
Something with her or something with him?
It's probably nothing. Keep testing while I look for a way out.
Alright, so that last test was seriously disappointing. Apparently, being civil isn't motivating you, so let's try her way, alright? Fatty, adopted Fatty. Fatty, no parents.
And
What?
what exactly is wrong with being adopted?
What's wrong with being adopted? Well, lack of parents.
For the record, you are adopted, and that's terrible.
And
It doesn't
also,
work with me.
nothing. But some of my best friends actually are orphans.
Also,
But
look at her, you moron. She's not fat.
I am not a moron. Just do the test. Just do the test.
Fatty. There. There we go. Heh. Yeah, Jack. As he falls into the abyss. Alright, how am I supposed to be getting across here? Is there a way to reverse that thing? Oh, sure. What's your... Oh, hello. Oh, hold on. I just have to get that thing. Oh, mother of pearl. No, 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 no. Alright. So. Oh, that'll work too. Alright. Do you have to orient it that way all the time? You're gonna move, aren't you? Am I supposed to catapult me up there or something? Oh, hold on. Well, that was stupid. Now.
It's not enough. If I'm such a moron, why can't you solve a simple test?
I might have pushed that moron thing a little too far this time.
Just a touch, maybe. After all, he is like a nearly omnipotent robot with regards to us.
Oh, now he's playing classical music.
Oh, sorry. Hope that didn't disturb you too much then. It was the sound of books, pages being turned. So that's just what I was doing. Just reading, books. So not a moron. Anyway, just finish the last one. Just now the hardest one, Machiavelli. Do not know what all the fuss was about. Understood it perfectly. Have you read that one? Yeah, doubt it. Well, on with the test. Wish there was more books. Well, there's not.
Okay. Now. Oh, hello. So somehow. Huh. 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 How the Harry? Did you get a? Oh, you get above that one. All right. Maybe. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? Alright, let's try here. Oh, a little bit higher. Thinking. You mother of pearl. Oh, for love, I hate you. There's gotta be an easy way to do that. Come on.
Now he's playing classical music.
Oh, sorry. Hope that didn't disturb you too much then. It was the sound of books, pages being turned. So that's just what I was doing. Just reading books. So nothing more on. Anyway, just finished the last one. Just now, the hardest one, Machiavelli. Do not know what all the fuss was about. Understood it perfectly. Have you read that one?
Yes.
Yeah, doubt it. Well, on with the test. Wish there was more books. Well, there's not.
Alright, what the heck is this one? I get the hang of how this one's supposed to be solved. Because you have to be able to get up to that one, right? So. Oh, hold on. Hold on. By George, I believe I've got it. Now. Now. Just thinking that might not be the best thing. Oh, hold. Okay, here we go. Now, blue one. Joink. Yeah, alright.
Stupid jackass. I Alright. Oh. Oh. That's nice. Or if I jump off, it'll set me up there again. They don't want to have to do all that stuff. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's not that much, honestly. Yeah, alright. Now. Alright, now. Now. I think I'm just gonna do it. It's the orange one, it's the blue one. No thingy? Alright. Alright, so I have to get this out to the center platform somehow. I'm gonna have to do it one by one. Ow. I'm thinking though, if I set that on, it won't go off. There we go. Now, orange. Yeah. Alright, now, for myself. This one.
Finally.
Oh, what was that? That was nothing! That was nothing!
The body he's squatting in, my body, has a built-in euphoric response to testing. Eventually, you build up a resistance to it. It can get a little unbearable, unless you have the mental capacity to push past it. It didn't matter to me. I was in it for the science. Him, though.
Protect your family's dreams under our roof. American Family Insurance.
Ready-to-eat meal delivery services are not created equal. At fast.
All right. Put it there for now. So I wonder how long this game actually goes then.
If he's not getting his solution euphoria, we could be in a lot of trouble.
Press any key to.
Don't mind me, just moving the old test chamber a little bit closer to me. I had a thought maybe proximity to the test holding might give us stronger results.
It won't.
What was that?
Nothing.
Oh, sorry, I could have sworn you said something.
He's taking us right to him. This is perfect.
All right. So, this is straightforward. If there's something really tricky about it. All right, here we go. Now, what? Lock. Oh, there we go.
Ah, bless your little primate brain. I'm not actually in the room with you, am I? Technology. It's complicated. You can't hurt the big old god face.
So. But. Oh, okay, hold on. Alright, let's try that. Nope. Let's try here. There we go.
Activated. Target lost.
Alright, how in the Harry? Mother of Pearl. Oh, forgot about that part. So once I go through the thing, all my portals.
If he's not getting his solution euphoria, we could be in a lot of trouble.
Don't mind me, just moving the old test chamber a little bit closer to me. I'd have thought maybe proximity to the test solving might give us stronger results.
It won't.
What was that?
Nothing, nothing.
Oh, sorry, I could have sworn you said something.
He's taking us right to him. This is perfect.
Alright, so that's all good. Which one's which here? There we go. Now. Oh, for the love.
If he's not getting his solution euphoria, we could be in a lot of trouble.
Don't mind me, just moving the old test chamber a little bit closer to me. I'd have thought maybe proximity to the test solving might give us stronger results.
It won't.
What was that?
Nothing, nothing.
Oh, sorry, I could have sworn you said something.
He's taking us right to him. This is perfect.
Alright, now. Let's try this again. Let's try it like so. What? Well, that's stupid. Alright, let's go up there. Aha! You put it by the wrong wall. Alright, let's do this again. Let's see if I can put. Now. Don't move. Oh, there. Ah, yeah. Hate you. Now. Let's go again. I'm gonna require that thingy majabber. Maybe? Ish? I don't know. So as long as we keep that portal there, we should be able to do something or other, right? So we can do it again without the cube though. Which should be good, right? This cube is already on the other side. Alright. I think we're good. No, because this is the thing. We have to get across and be able to do that. right? Alright, let's just try it. But that won't destroy the thing, right? Again, I have to be able to get over there without this thing going all goofy, right? And once I jump across, or once I get across the barrier... No, mother of pearl! Too high. Too high. Alright.
If he's not getting his solution, Euphoria, we could be in a lot of trouble.
Don't mind me, just moving the old test chamber a little bit closer to me. I had a thought maybe proximity to the test solving might give us stronger results.
It won't.
What was that?
Nothing.
Oh, sorry, I could have sworn you said something.
He's taking us right to him. This is perfect.
Alright, there. Now, remember. Taking us to go over here. So, I'm gonna go orange. Can somehow get around that shield. Things I can't get up to that. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Forgot about that part of this. Doink. Yeah. Don't move.
Are you absolutely sure you're solving these correctly? I mean, yes, you solved it, but I'm wondering if Maybe there's a number of ways to solve them, and you're picking all the worst ways. No, that was the solution. Ah, what am I missing?
Alright, I might do one more and then I'll be done. To whom it may concern.
I think he's getting desperate. This is not good.
Have a brainwave. I'm going to tape you solving these, and then watch 10 at once. Get a more sort of concentrated burst of science. Oh, on a related note, I am going to need you to solve these 10 times as fast. Anyway, just give me a wave, would you, before you solve this one, alright? I don't want to spoil the ending for when I watch it later.
That's weird. It's already... no. Ah. It's not gonna work. Alright, let's... see what's over here. Oh, glass one. Oh, hold on. But these things turn that off. You need that thing to turn around. Get up there. You need. Oh, there's no way that other block could work, is there? Now, Hold on. Alright, so here we go. That's what the target is. Alright. Let's try this. So, now, require just to move that out of the way, get that thing going. Alright, so this is all where it should be, right? Where it should be. Get that down, hopefully. And now.
Oh, you just solved it, didn't you? I told you to tell me before. Why are you making this so hard for me?
Remember when I told you that he was specifically designed to make bad decisions? Because I think he's decided not to maintain any of the crucial functions required to keep this facility from exploding.
Alright. Now let's see what happens after I jump out, but wheat leaf.
Oh, my facility. This place is self-destructing, you idiot.
Was self-destructing, already fixed. Programmed in one last tremor for old time's sake. Two, like one or two more tremors in there just for fun.
Warning. Core overheating.
I let him keep his job. I'm not a monster. Ignore what he's saying then. Just keep on testing.
Alright. Leave it on a cliffhanger, I guess. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.